What is a time signature and why do you need to know it? Everyone, no matter what instrument you play or what style of music you play, needs to know what a time signature is and how to read it. That being said, this particular lesson is geared towards fingerstyle guitar, as this lesson is part of a full fingerstyle guitar course. So, if you're new to this channel or you'd like to learn how to play fingerstyle guitar, I've put a link down below in the description to the playlist of the entire course. Right, let's get on with this lesson. What is a time signature? The time signature usually appears at the beginning of commercial music or tablature, and it'll appear just after the key signature or just after the clef. So the usual order will be clef, key signature, time signature. And the time signature looks like a fraction because it's just two numbers on top of one another. The job of the time signature is to tell us how the piece of music should be counted or what the rhythm is like. If you know a tune really well, or if you've heard it a few times, you probably wouldn't need a time signature. But if you don't know the tune so well, or if you're trying to adapt your own fingerpicking pattern to the tune, then you really need to know what the time signature is, because it's essential to fitting the fingerpicking pattern to the tune. How to read the time signature. As I mentioned a moment ago, the time signature consists of two numbers. And the easiest number to understand is the top number. And this is literally just how many beats in the bar. So the example you've been looking at is 4/4 time. And the top number is a 4. So there's 4 beats in the bar. And this is by far the most common time signature you'll come across. Here's another common time signature, which is 3/4. And the top number is a 3. So there's 3 beats in the bar. The last example is 6/8 time, which sounds quite different. But looking at the top number, we know there's 6 beats in the bar. So you can see it's really easy to understand that the top number is just the number of beats in the bar. The bottom number is the value or the type of beats in the bar, and this affects the way it's counted. So the bottom number can represent 1 for a semibreve, 2 for a minim, 4 for a crotchet, 8 for a quaver, 16 for a semiquaver, and 32 for a demi-semiquaver. However, with Western music, 99% of the time you only need to know the 4 for crotchets and the 8 for quavers. However, if you want to understand note values and rhythms properly, you could go through the course I've written on how to read guitar music, and the first half of that course is just about how to read rhythms and how to understand note values. I'll put a link to that down below in the description so you can go through it if you want to. Right, let's take a look at the 3 most common time signatures you'll come across. And the reason I've chosen these 3 is because these are the only time signatures I've used in the fingerstyle course. And the first one is 3/4 time, the second one is 4/4 time, and the third one is 6/8 time. And 3/4 time is 3 crotchets per bar, 4/4 time is 4 crotchets per bar, and 6/8 time is 6 quavers per bar. And to give you an idea what those rhythms sound like, here's the metronome beats for the 3/4 time. And it would be counted 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. And the 4/4 time signature would sound like this. And you'd count it like this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Sometimes, rather than finding the 4/4 at the beginning of the score, you'll find a stylized C. And this is because 4/4 time is sometimes called common time. And that's literally just because it's so commonly used. So if you come across this C, it still means the same thing, 4/4 time. Now the 6/8 time, because we've got an 8 in the bottom, which is half the value of a crotchet, it's generally counted a little bit quicker. But for the sake of this lesson, I'll keep all the beats at the same speed. So here's what 6/8 sounds like using metronome beats. And it's counted like this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now, even though I've mentioned that 6/8 time is generally played a little bit quicker, with commercial music and tablature, you do get notified of the speed of the tune at the top of the page. And normally this is done in beats per minute, or BPM. And for people who've watched any of my other tutorial videos, you will have pretty much got used to hearing this, because before I play any example or any tune, I'll tell you what speed I'm playing that at by telling you how many beats per minute the metronome is going at. And I do this so you can get used to hearing it, because this is the commercial and professional way of telling a musician what speed they should play a tune at. However, in classical music or very old manuscript, you'll also, or possibly only, find a name for the speed, and this goes from larghissimo, or very slow, to prestissimo, very fast. I've put a list of these names in a free ebook I've made just for this particular video, and you'll find that on the Fingerstyle guitar course page at www.ebooksforguitar.com. Now you've got a basic understanding of time signatures and how to find the speed of the tune, let's move on. Why you need to understand time signatures when playing fingerstyle guitar. This is most important when you're writing your own music, or you're trying to work out a fingerpicking pattern for a tune where you've just got the chords. If you've got the tablature or the music for the tune you're trying to play, then theoretically it should be self-explanatory. But if you're trying to put your own fingerpicking pattern together with a tune, then the fingerpicking pattern you choose is going to have to fit with the rhythm of the tune. And this is dictated by the time signature. Now, to help you find the correct pattern for any time signature, there is a very general rule, and that is that the number of notes you play should be a multiple of the number of beats in the bar. And this is because you can only play as many notes as you can fit into one beat of the bar. So for example, with 3/4 time, you might use 3 notes per bar, 6 notes per bar, 9 notes per bar, etc., etc. Or with 4/4 time, you might use 4 notes per bar, 8 notes per bar, 12 notes per bar, or 16 notes per bar, etc., etc. But like all rules, this one can be broken. And to do that, you can just play broken rhythms. I'll demonstrate that now in the examples. You'll notice that the examples I've called examples stroke exercises, And that's because this is really a theory lesson, so you don't have to play along. But if you want to, you can. Example 1, 3/4 time. Pay attention when you're reading the tablature for these examples, because they've all got repeats. And I'll play the repeats when I demonstrate each example. I'll also be using the same chords in all the examples, and this is so you can concentrate on the finger picking and the rhythm. The first example is 3/4 time, so there's 3 beats per bar. And if we use the multiple rule, where we can use 3 notes, 6 notes, 9 notes or 12 notes, we can choose the easiest option, which is 3 notes, and you'll hear it'll fit perfectly as it should. Here that is again with the 2-bar introduction, in case you want to play along. The metronome set at 90 beats per minute. You'll notice with this first exercise, I took my hands away from the guitar on the E minor. And that's because I wasn't playing any notes, so there was no need to finger anything. However, even though I'm using the same chords, with the second exercise, I have to leave the finger in place. Example 1A, 3/4 time. This second example demonstrates what a broken rhythm is. And a broken rhythm means it's not uniform. So you can see the first 3 notes are all half beats, and you could count that 1 and 2. And the last note of the pattern is on the 3rd beat of the bar. If you find it difficult to locate the half notes, it's easier if you count an and in your head. So you'd count it like this. 1 and 2 and 3 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 1 and 2 and 3 and... But this is obviously easier to do with a slower metronome. Here's example 1A being played at 90 beats per minute with a 2-bar introduction, so you can play along with it if you want. And here that is again, so you can play along with it if you want to. Don't worry if you don't get 3/4 time 100%. we'll be going into it in far more depth as we go through the rest of this course. Example 2, 4/4 time. Example 2 will be using the multiple rule, and as there's 4 beats in the bar, we're using 8 beats per bar. We've already used this fingerpicking pattern earlier in the course. Here it is at 90 beats per minute with a 2-bar introduction. And here that is again with the 2-bar introduction at 90 beats per minute, so you can try and play along if you want to. Example 2A, 4/4 time. This tune, being in 4/4 time, demonstrates that you can use broken beats in any time signature. And you'll notice, looking at the pattern, that the first and last notes are a full beat, and the middle 4 notes are half beats. So here's what the rhythm sounds like. I'll just play the first bar 4 times in a loop so you can hear it. Here's example 2A at 90 beats per minute with a 2-bar introduction, in case you want to play along with it. And here that is again, 90 beats per minute, 2-bar introduction. Example 3, 6/8 time. This exercise is using a pattern from the multiple rule. However, it's only got 6 notes in it. And that's because 6/8 time is naturally faster, and it'd be a struggle to get more notes in. When you're learning a tune you don't know, look carefully at the speed, because alongside the speed is usually a note value. With 3/4 and 4/4 time, this is more commonly a crotchet. However, in 6/8 time, this is more commonly a quaver. However, it can be virtually any note value, and getting this wrong can have a massive impact on the speed you're playing the tune. So you can get a good idea how this should sound. Here's the first bar of the exercise being played 4 times at 150 quaver beats per minute, which may sound fast, but it's only 75 crotchet beats per minute. Here's the entire example with a 2-bar introduction at 150 quaver beats per minute. And here that is again at 150 quaver beats per minute with a 2-bar introduction. If you think you're ready, try playing this exercise again, this time at 180 quaver beats per minute. And the reason for this is that we're using this fingerpicking pattern in the next tune, Snowfall by Sad Fantasy. So it's a good idea to start speeding up the fingerpicking pattern now, ready for that lesson. So here's example 3 being played at 180 quaver beats per minute with a 2-bar introduction. And here that is again. I'll put some metronome beats at the end of this video, and I'll put 3 minutes at 150 quaver beats per minute and 3 minutes at 180 quaver beats per minute, and this will give you something to practice with. If you enjoyed this video, please like, subscribe and hit the bell icon, and if you haven't already, take a look through the Fingerstyle guitar course that's on my channel in the playlists or at www.ebooks4guitar.com. Either way, this video will make a lot more sense if you've seen the rest of the course in order. And of course, thank you very much for watching.